Hi everybody. While using Flex family, i.e. flexed and rigid, helps us arrange widgets along a single axis, side by side or one after the other. The stack family, i.e. stacked and expanded, let us position the children in the same space, one on the top of the other, so they overlap or fill the available space. In this video, we will see how to overlap widgets and shapes, one on the top of the other, by using the stack family. We will have very quick introduction, then we will see two examples. The first one is straightforward application. It introduces the concepts, while the second example I will show an application of the stack concept. A stack is just like a flex. A flex has rigid and flexed, while a stack has stacked and expanded children. A stack is a struct that has alignment property. The latter can have the following values that position the widgets in different directions. These values have effect only on stacked children. They don't have any effect on expanded children. This is because expanded children try to fill the space of the largest stacked child. When Gio is about to render a stacked children, it does it in two phases. It starts by laying out all stacked children and find the largest one. Then for all expanded children, it sets constraints.min to the largest stacked and constraints.max to the size of the parent constraints. Let me explain what I mean by parent constraints. When we have a stack under a window, the stack receives in constraints.max the size of the window, and thus expanded will receive the same size in constraints.max. When a stack is nested under a column or a row like flexed, which has different size than the window, the stack will get the size of the column and not the size of the window, and thus the expanded will receive the size of the column. These points will be explained further through the examples. If you don't get it now, it's okay. For this first example, we will draw the following window: a text on the top of a square on the top of another big square. As usual, let me copy the template to our current video folder. I will open the file. I will start by setting the window title. Since we have two examples in this video, I will use example 1, stack, stacked, and expanded. I will change the window size to 300 by 300. I scroll down up to the frame event and add layout.stack with layout.center alignment. Same as we did with flex, rigid, and flexed, stack has child which are stacked and expanded. The first child is stacked. Under it, we set the size variable to image point 200 by 200. I will set the constraints to the exact value of size. This will be used later to size the rectangle clip. I will draw a gray rectangle by calling fill shape function with these parameters: gtx.ops, the color, I will make it gray. The third parameter is the shape. I will call clip.rect with max equal to size. Then calling op to turn it as a shape. The return value of this child is the size of the rectangle, which is size. I will save so Visual Code will import the missing libraries. I will make the comment of this section a bit visible since I will add more sections. Compile the application. We have two errors. The first is that we defined a variable and we didn't use it, and the second is a typo in the alignment word. Let's go back and fix them. Run now. We have a gray square 200 by 200. I will start building the second child. I will copy and paste the whole child 1 Child 2, same as child 1, will draw smaller red square on the top of the previous gray one. I will change the comment and the size to 100 by 100. Also, I will need to change the color to red, and that's it. Run the application now. We have now a red square centered on the top of a gray one. It is centered because of the alignment. Now I will build child number 3, where I will have a hello message on the top of child 1 and 2. I will copy and paste part of child 2. I will change the stacked to expanded. I will add layout.center to center the text. You might ask yourself how come I'm adding layout.center here while we have a centered alignment already. I will explain it shortly. I will add a label by using material.h4. Doing so, I wouldn't need to define the text size. The first parameter is the theme, th. I will need to uncomment it. The second parameter is this text, hello. I will set a white color for the text. I will copy it from above to change it to be white. Then I will return the label.layout. Finally, I will close the expanded section. Run the application, and we have a white text on a red square on a gray square. Now let's play a bit with layout.center to understand its effect. I will start by commenting it out, save and run the application. The change is that the text position jumped from the center to the top left of the first square. So what was centering the text is not the alignment defined in layout.stack, but the layout.center.layout. Now let's change expanded by stacked and keep the layout.center commented out. Save and run. The text is back to the middle as before. This time it's centered by the alignment. So in summary, setting alignment to layout.center in layout stack doesn't have any effect on expanded. Alignment only positions stacked children that are smaller than the largest stacked child. Expanded widget size is equal exactly to the size of the largest stacked child, so there is nothing to position. The widgets under expanded receive the largest stacked size and try to fill it. That's why by using expanded and without centering the text, its position was on the gray square, which is the largest stacked. Let's add another child to understand more concepts. I will add another child where I will just draw a blue square under expanded. Copy the stacked part from child 3 and change the stacked to expanded. Get the paint function from above. Change the color to blue. Change the clip size to constraints.max and return the same size. Run now. The blue square covered the whole window. This is because expanded receives in constraint.max the window size. Let's go back to the code and change the max to min. Run again. Now the size of the square is the same as the gray square, but it starts from position 0. The rest of the previous stack are still in the center. The expanded receives in constraint.min the size of the largest stacked, and this is what makes the blue square size equal to the gray one. The reason that the blue square starts at 0 position is related to the fact that expanded is not affected by the centered alignment, so it starts at the default location since we didn't mention the minimum position. In this example, I will draw a video player window with a play button in the middle of it and a progress bar at its bottom. This player doesn't play anything, it just shows how to stack widgets one on the top of the other. Same way as in example 1, I will copy the template to the current video folder. I will open the file. I will start by changing the title of the window to example 2 stack stacked and expanded. I will disable creating a new theme as it's not used for now. I will fix the constraints max to image point 600 by 400. I will create a new function named player. Inside of it, I will create a layout.Stack as a container with alignment equal to center. The first child inside the stack is stacked. Inside the stacked, I will call a function to draw a container, which is the black rectangle that represents the player. This new function has two parameters. The first is GTX, and the second is the color used to paint the inside of the rectangle. I will define the draw container function below. I will start by setting an offset to 50-50, so the player will not be drawn in the position 0-0. Then I will call fill shape to fill the area by the defined color. I will define the clip as a rectangle where the max is constraints.max. And then I will return image point, GTX constraint max x, and GTX constraints max.y. I will call now the player function under the frame event. Let's compile the code and run. We have a black rectangle shifted by 50-50. Let's go back to the code and continue. Now I will be adding the play button, same button you would see when you pause a YouTube video. I will add the second child to the player function. I will add layout.Stack and add a call to a function draw play button. Let's define this new function to draw the play button. Since we applied an offset in the previous function, we need also to apply it here. I will copy it from above. I will set the width and height of the rounded corner rectangle. W variable defines the width is equal to 100, while h defines the height and is equal to 70. To draw the rounded corners rectangle, I will start by defining the clip area by using clip.rrect and set the max to image point W by h. I will set the roundness to 8 for all sides. Now I will call fill shape function. I need to define the colors. Let's define them right after the variable W and H. Rectangle color will be set to red, while triangle color will be set to white. I will use rectangle color and rrect as a shape in the fill shape function. Now I will draw a triangle. For this I will use a path. So I will need to declare a clip.path variable, then call p.begin. I will move the cursor to the point W divided by 4 and H divided by 4. Draw a line from the previous point to W divided by 4 and H minus H divided by 4. Draw another line from the previous point to W minus W divided by 4 and H divided by 2. Then close the path, which will draw the last line to close the shape. Define the clip.outline to paint the inside of the triangle. And then I will fill the triangle with a color by using fill shape function. We use triangle color we defined earlier and triangle shape. Lastly, we return the size of the rectangle. Run the application now to see the effect. We have an import which is not used. It was added by Visual Code. Whenever I save, Visual Code adds the necessary imports automatically, but sometimes it doesn't do a good job like this one. Let's delete the line and run again. Now our player is started to look like a real one. We have a white play button on the top of a small rounded corners rectangle on the top of a black rectangle. Now I will add a progress bar. So I will add the last child in the player function. I will add a layout.Expanded, so the progress bar will take the size of the largest stacked, which is the black rectangle. Under the expanded, I will use layout.S.layout to position the progress bar to the south or the bottom of the player. Under that, I will call the function drawProgressBar to draw the bar. Let's code this new function. I will collapse all the previous functions, then add the progress bar function. I start by adding the offset since we added in all previous functions. I will copy it from above. I define the height and width of the progress bar. I set the height to 6 and width is set to constraint.max.x. So the progress bar will have the same width as the big black rectangle. We're doing this because the widgets under expanded receive the width of the largest stacked, which is the black rectangle in our case, in constraints.max.x. I will set the progress bar to 70% of the whole width, so 70% of the variable w. I will now draw the progress bar by using fillShape function. The color used is red. The clip rect will have the size of the image point of progress width and height. Before we run the application, let me fix some errors here. I will add the return, then go back to the errors. The AA should be 1A. Fill paint should be fill shape. Now everything is looking good. Let's run the application. In addition to what we drew before, we have now a progress bar at the bottom. Let's summarize. Stack family helps us stack widgets and shapes one on the top of the other. Stacked widgets are affected by alignment set in layout.stack. Expanded widgets are not affected by alignment set in layout.stack. Expanded widgets try to fill the largest stacked widget. Expanded widgets receive the size of the window in gtx.constraints.max and the size of the largest stacked widget in gtx.constraints.min. That's all for this video. Please subscribe and share. Leave me your questions and suggestions in the comments. Thank you.